Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I hope you're having a great start to your week. Let's see. Welcome, everyone. If this is your first time watching So What, let me know in the chat. I'm actually trying to pull up the chat as I'm talking. So let me know if it's working. Let me know if everyone's able to watch. I know we had some problems last week with some connectivity issues, and I really tried to troubleshoot that. As we say, what do we say? Technology is great when it's working. All right, now I can see that some people are watching. Great. Okay. So I have so much to share with you today. It's a big day in Sulky Land. Spring is what, like a couple of days away? What's the first day of spring, actually? Is it the 20th? The 21st? I don't know. Hi, Colleen. Hi, Kathy. Now I could see all of you. Things seem to be working great. Okay, perfect. As I mentioned, it's a big day here in Sulky Land because I have so many things to share with you. In addition to the project that I want to share with you today, which is some quilty themed gift tags and machine embroidery designs. And we also have these designs available for those of you who don't have embroidery machines. We have hand embroidery / cross stitch versions of these designs and some different ways that you can stitch them out as well. So I'm going to sort of unveil this brand new collection today here on So What. And I also want to let you all know, oh, thank you. Thursday, March 20th is the first day of spring. Thank you, Bev. I knew it was, one of these days this week. And aren't we all excited for some spring, some changing of the weather? I don't know where you live, but where I live, you have no idea what the weather is going to do during the spring months. It could snow one day and it could be 80 degrees the next. So bizarre. But I actually kind of enjoy that, change it up a little bit. Enough of this bitter cold all the time thing, just give me some 70 degrees here and there. Love that. All right. Happy birthday to your husband, Joan. My birthday's coming up as well. Love this time of year. All right. So speaking of spring, it is time for our spring mystery box. I'm loving the applause button today. All right, the spring mystery box is now available. This is the first time we're talking about it here on So What. So you all get first dibs on our garden party themed spring mystery box. If you've never purchased a mystery box before, they are full of all kinds of fun, full-size goodies. And you get about, I want to say like $77 worth of products for only $49.99. And we have now been making these boxes project-themed boxes. So if you open your box and you're wondering to yourself, what do I do with all of these fabulous things? We give you tons of inspiration. So you will get 2 digital patterns, which may or may not include embroidery design files. Hint, hint. Also, those embroidery design files that may or may not be in your box are also depicted as hand embroidery designs. So you do not need to have an embroidery machine in order to make the projects that we are featuring for the box. So you get 2 patterns, some extra designs. So if you open your box and you're wondering what to do with the items inside, we give you these patterns that you can choose to do or not. You can also go rogue and kind of do your own thing because the items inside are really just to kind of spark your creativity. All right. So kind of get the creative juices flowing, I would love to share with you a little bit of the box, but I don't want to take away from the mystery part of it. So you let me know if you would like me to share I'm going to go grab a couple of things just in case you say yes, share it with us. And I'll give you just the tiniest little sneak peek, just to, pique your interest a little bit more. But the garden party theme is really indicative of the fabric that may or may not be inside of the box. And it's a brand new fabric collection from Art Gallery Fabrics, one of my ultimate favorites. Absolutely love Art Gallery Fabrics. I think that the feel of their fabrics, it feels so expensive and so, luxurious and high quality. They also have a lot of different fabric substrates. So they have, rayon and cotton and voile and flannel and canvas, and it's just really, really beautiful, beautiful fabrics. All right, lots of people are saying share, please. Okay. All right, so let's see what little part I want to share with you. I did this, one of the projects, or I should say one of the patterns, I did multiple times, as we do for testing. And then I also did it multiple times using different products in the box. So different thread types and weights, different techniques I used. So you get all of that with purchase of the box. You also will get a little sort of printed flyer inside of the box. So don't throw that away, because there's a QR code and a link, or a URL. If you don't want to snap the QR code, that takes you right to the link. You can type out the link as well. And that takes you to this special web page that we created specifically for this box that has all kinds of other project inspiration, techniques, information about the products in the box. So it's really, really carefully put together with a lot of thought behind it to give you all the resources you need when you open up that box for the first time. All right. I also challenge you, we've had a couple people do this and I love hearing about it. They buy a box for themselves and a friend, and then they get together on the weekend and they sort of challenge each other like they're on the Chopped show on the Food Network, right? They'll open the box and maybe even set a timer and see what each other can make in that allotted time using the items in the box. That is so fun. And can we please have a TV show like that? I would like to host it. I would like to be on it, because that sounds so amazing. All right. So here's just a tiny little sneak peek of what you might create with your garden party mystery box. I don't really want to share much more than that. That's one version. I did another version that may look like this. Okay. So in the coming weeks, as the boxes start selling out, I'll share more and more of what you can create with the box. And then hopefully some of you will have your boxes arrive, and then you can also share what was in your box on our Sulky Stitch and Post Facebook page, so that other people can see from your point of view what was in your box, what you're doing with it, what is exciting you the most about it. I just love this time of year because, as you know, we work on these mystery boxes all year long. So we always come out with a winter, spring, and summer and fall box. So this is our first box of 2025. It's pretty exciting. And we work on them for so long. I mean, we're already working on our fall box coming up. So as you can imagine, there's a lot of moving parts, and a lot of people spend a lot of time working on this particular project. And I'm just so excited for you all to see it, for it to arrive in your mailbox, for you to open it up and see what's inside. And especially make sure to go to that website that we have created. It's exclusive for people who have bought the box only. And there's just so many resources there, great patterns, great links to posts and designs and things that you can create in the same sort of vein with this springy theme. All right, let's see. Would it be possible for a beginner? Absolutely. Definitely beginner friendly. The patterns that come inside. And as I mentioned, you also get an embroidery design. I'm trying not to spill the beans too much, but if you don't have an embroidery machine quite yet, there's also an option to do the design that's featured on the main project by hand. So the materials in your box will include all versions. Okay. Link to buy the box. Thank you, Diane. So in the description of today's post, right underneath where I'm talking, you'll find the description, and you'll need to click on that little see more button, or it might just say more. Then the whole description will pop out. You'll find links for everything I'm talking about today. It'll say grab your mystery box or something like this, and you can click right on that link and it'll take you to the page to buy that mystery box. All right, Bev is asking how many projects are in the box. So there are two digital products that come with the box, and a bonus. So I guess technically 3 come with the box. And I will say you can kind of mix and match those. You can use all 3 in one main project, or you can use one here with these items, one here with these items. You get the idea, right? All right. Great news. Don't have an embroidery machine, but I like to work by hand. Perfect. Yes, there's a new machine embroidery in the mystery box. Sorry I gave that away. And it is exclusive to the box. So we never unveil these designs and patterns until well after the mystery box sells out. These are a one and done product. So once they're gone, and they go like hotcakes, I will tell you. Could I share a previous box? That's a great question. And actually, I think I have one right next to me because I was kind of trying to sort of gauge the size and whatnot. So let's see. I want to go back far enough. Shall we talk about our fall box? Is our fall box still available? I doubt it. Let me just check here. I want to give everybody the chance to have it be a surprise. Okay, yes, our fall boxes are gone. We only have 8 of our winter box left. And the garden party spring box is up and ready for purchase. Fantastic. All right. Hold one moment. So our fall box, let me grab the projects from that. I grabbed up one of our boxes. This is our special golden 35 years box. And now we're approaching, 38 years of Sulky. So we will be having that birthday celebration this summer as well. Let's see. So in our fall box, we had some fantastic blanks, some fantastic fall themed fabrics, some really great threads, of course, in our blendables variety. So one of the projects, I could only find one, was a towel blank in this great oatmeal color. So really great for fall and beyond, really. And this was kind of a bonus project in that box. So what I did was, there was another project that was a bowl cozy that came with insulated batting and instructions for shaping a bowl cozy a little bit differently, adding a hanging loop, things like this. It was a great project. And then with the leftover fabrics, you could also trim up your towel blanks. So I bound the edges just like you would on a quilt to give it, just a little bit of a designery look. And before I did that, I added this cute little corner pieced area. So we really do like to include something for everyone in these boxes. There isn't always an embroidery design. Sometimes it's a little bit more quilty in theme. Sometimes there's a handwork design and an embroidery design. But in any case, you get tons of sulky thread, some sulky stabilizer, or it might be fusible web or something like this. And then you get some really fun gifty items as well. I remember a past summer box, we gave everyone this really beautifully pineapple-y scented hand sanitizer, one of those squirt ones, and it had a really cute little quilty design on it. So you gotta love something like that. We like to throw in some needles, some great notions. In past boxes, we gave everyone one of our sulky multi-purpose turning tools. Those retail for $10. They're $9.99. So that was a really special box. So you could get a really nice pair of scissors or snips or a piece of jewelry that's sewing themed. So these are just items that we have included in past boxes. So this is just one of the projects. It was a quick and easy sort of bonus project to do on the towel blank. And then we also gave you ideas for how to add machine embroidery to the towel blank if you want to do that, with tons of design resources and how-to tutorials from our blog and things like that. So that's just one I could find in the corner here. But in this mystery box, it might have some things missing because, I have been pulling from it for various things. So this one had this really cool bottle cozy that you can embroider in the hoop of your embroidery machine to personalize it with like a logo. And then you sew up the sides and you turn it right side out. And then you can unzip this and put it around a bottle of your favorite beverage. So these make great gifts. This was included in the mystery box. Some stabilizer that's appropriate for it. A cute little mug rug pattern. These are actually available on the Sulky site now. Some felty. Lots of thread. There's about 8 spools of thread in this box. And then this one also came with a little Sulky diamond pen, which is a fun little gifty. So as I mentioned, you'll also get a piece of paper in your box. It might look something like this, and it's going to have all this information for where to go next for getting your freebies, finding all of your resources, things like that. So really fun. It's just, a great little gift for yourself. And, now that we're losing some of our fabric and craft stores, which we talked about last week, it's fun to grab up something like this that has been carefully curated for you, where the fabrics are going to be great, they're going to match with the threads inside. We really take great care to make sure that we are curating something that's really special that we think you're going to love and enjoy. All right, any other mystery box questions? Great towel idea. Love what you did with the scraps. Thank you so much. Karen says in a past box, she got Pilot pens for pastel colors that were erasable. I remember that one. That was a good one too. All right. Love that there's machine embroidery. Perfect. I love the mystery boxes. It's exciting to open them. It really is a fun little thing to gift yourself. And, maybe you want to gift one to a friend. And as I mentioned, have a little activity, in the spring months when maybe it's decided to snow outside. Now you can sit and sew together. All right, let's see. Okay, perfect. So another thing I'm so excited to share with you today, another thing I've been working on for a really long time that I finally get to tell you all about. Our next embroidery session over at sewingonline.sulky.com is called All the Patches. This is in partnership with Embroidery Library and Urban Threads. We love working with them. They are some of my favorite designs out there in the universe. I always find something that I'm looking for and a few things that I probably wasn't but can't live without whenever I visit either one of those sites. It's a great embroidery resource, and love working with the teams with Urban Threads and Embroidery Library. So this kind of came about a couple of years ago, actually. I was at a QuiltCon, of all things, and it was so bizarre. I bet you 20 people came up to me asking me about patches, about making patches in the hoop of their embroidery machine. How do we do it? How do we make them fusible? How do we apply them to projects? How do we make our own patches using our own artwork? How do we make a patch using a logo that we already have? How do we make a patch with a monogram that we designed, or with our favorite monogram design? So the wheels kind of got turning in my head way back then. And I thought to myself, we have got to do a session on this that is just all encompassing for literally all the patches. So I brought this idea to Urban Threads and Embroidery Library, the makers of fantastic embroidery designs, and we put our heads together, and I created this course that includes several videos. I want to say 10. There's 10 videos in here, at least. Feels like 50, but I think there's 10. There's multiple lessons within this, so you can navigate to the ones you want to learn about as you maybe want to make that type of patch or what have you. You can also do the course from start to finish if your time allows, but the way we've set this up is all the lessons are individual sort of chunks of content within this bigger session. So you can go in and just kind of pick and choose the ones that you want to do when you want to do them. It never, ever expires. So once you've purchased it, this session lives in your personal library at sewingonline.sulky.com. You can access it whenever you want. It also comes with a fantastic embroidery collection from Urban Threads. So for practicing and for the purposes of the lesson, you get these 3, they're called Crafty Merit Badge patch designs: Embroidery Wizard, Fabric Snob, and Black Belt in Hooping. You also get 4 blank patch designs that you can use to merge other designs with, to create your own patches with. Lots of things will be covered using those blank patch designs. We are also going to show you how to create your own artwork. We won't necessarily tell you how to draw it or how to create it digitally, but we will tell you how to format it. Tips for sizing it for patches, whether you want to use these blank patch designs or not. Then we are also going to share with you how to digitize those designs with or without a patch application. So if you want to create your own artwork and have it be a standalone design, then you can merge that design with one of these blank patch designs to create your own patch. Or we will also teach you how to communicate all the steps that are needed for a patch design, either to a digitizing service or if you want to try your hand at digitizing yourself. So this is a major undertaking, but we have really simplified it for you with tons of videos, tons of support, tons of information, and a great design collection to practice what you've learned and turn that practice into real life projects. So this is going to be a really, really fantastic session that you can refer to again and again. We do have a kit for this session as well. It coordinates with the embroidery designs I just showed you, but it includes some specialty patch base fabrics. There are also patches that are made entirely of thread, but for the majority of this session, we will be utilizing patch base fabrics. So 3 sheets of sulky felty, Felty is a fabric that I talk about all the time here on So What. The Felty is in this beautiful purple, white, and teal color. It's a no-fray fabric, great for patches, gives them kind of a fuzzy textural feel. There's also 4 sheets of special edition sulky twilly. You will learn all about twilly during the session, but twilly is a heavier weight twill fabric that already has a backing on it. You still need stabilizer, but the backing allows it to be very, very stable in the hoop, and it allows it to accept a lot of thread without puckering or buckling, and it's fantastic for patches. You'll also get 2 stabilizers, 2 1-yard packs of sulky Fabra-Solvi. Are these 1-yard packs or 3-yard packs? I'm just going to say 2 packs of Fabra-Solvi. You can find out more information on the kit if you go to the link that I put in the description of today's post. You will also get a pack of Oregon needles, and you also get all these beautiful sulky threads that you see here that coordinate with the designs that I just showed you. And you will be able to use these colors for so many patches as well. You'll also be able to use all these sheets to make tons of patches. Now, if you decide to put a backing on your patch, so not the background fabric, but an additional backing, which we will show you during the session, you'll use a little bit more of these fabrics, but you could still make a ton of patches using this kit. All right, Susan is asking, do you have to have digitizing software? You do not. So I take you through creating your own artwork and digitizing with or without software. So just note, if you do want to have something digitized, but you don't have software, you can use a digitizing service. And I mentioned that in the session as well. And I give you a screen capture tutorial of how to use our sulky digitizing site to create such a design. All right. Love Felty, fun colors. Perfect. Love the colors in the kit. Thank you. Anne has been wanting to make patches. Perfect. Post the link to the patch class. Yes. So in the description of today's post, you will find the link to that class, unless I forgot to put it there. If I did, I don't even know what to say because I knew I wanted to talk about this today. So if I did not put that in the description of today's kit, I will add it to the chat here. Is there material to make the patches iron-on? So to make the patches iron-on, you do need a fusible web. So for that, I use Sulky Perfect Applique Fusible Web. I did not include that in this kit, but you can purchase a 1-yard pack of that and add that to your kit purchase if you do want to make your patches fusible. And there's a whole tutorial, a whole lesson on making your patches fusible and how to do that as well. All right. Oh, thank you so much, Jill. Jill has posted the link to sign up for the patches class. Much appreciated. All right, perfect. So here is, oh, I also wanted to mention, I'm also going to tell you during the session, if you want to use pre-cut patch base fabrics, meaning your Felty or your twilly, I also give you some other options for fabrics to use to make patches with some tips and tricks for working with those fabrics. During the session, you will learn how to use pre-cut fabrics. You can use a fabric cutting system, a fabric cutter, or we can use templates, and there's specific files as well that you can use for templates that are included with the design files that you get once you purchase this session. Now, the session will not be active until April 8th. So it's coming up soon, but on April 8th, you'll get an email saying your session is ready for viewing. You can now go and grab all of your design files, watch all of the videos, and work your way through the session. There's also a video for how to navigate through the session, where to find all of your things on the pages. If you're not used to that format or it's the first time that you're ever doing a session with us, I highly suggest once you go through the checkout process for the session, it'll take you to a confirmation page, and you'll find that video tutorial there. It's only about 5 or 6 minutes, and it gives you an overview of what to expect in the session and how to navigate through it. All right. Oh, here's just another kind of how-to. This is a fusible patch, removing that backing on the fusible web, and that embroidery wizard design, which might be one of my favorites. I started putting all of my patches onto this tote bag, and I'm really loving how it turned out. And this is just a little sneak peek of that tote bag that I've been just adding patches to as I make them for the class, and then some, because I might be a little addicted to making patches now. It's so fun. They make great gifts too, even just a standalone patch. You could make them for all of your friends. Maybe you're all in an embroidery club or American Sewing Guild or something like this, and you can make everybody a patch and gift it to them for some, maybe just because. All right. And, it's pretty inexpensive. If you want to make 20 of the same patch and gift them to all of your friends, it's a great gift idea, and it's not a huge, huge investment, right? All right. Can you take the class without getting the kit? Yes, you can. You can sign up for the session and you do not have to purchase a kit, and you can get all the information and all of the designs that are included with that session. No kit purchase is required. All right. If we want to make iron-on patches, would cotton thread be more suitable so it doesn't melt? That's a great question. So I will say in the session, I use the Poly Deco thread that comes in the kit, okay? And the way that I recommend fusing them, there's no need to use all cotton thread. So I guess the answer is not necessarily. We do want to avoid putting our hot iron onto our beautiful thread work pretty much at all costs. Sometimes you can fuse things from the other side. Sometimes you can use a press cloth between the thread and your iron to avoid melting it and things like that. I would say that if ever you're going to use a sulky, glowy thread, or a thread that might have a coating on it like that, you never want to touch that thread to the iron. So if you want to make a glow-in-the-dark patch, do not make it fusible. That's my recommendation there. All right. And yes, AccuQuilt does have some lovely circle dies, and I actually show them off during the session. 3 sizes on 1 die. You do need to make sure that the design that you're using is properly sized for the die that you want to use as well, or you can use that die that you have and then create your own patches using the exact size that you have of that die. So all this and more will be revealed during our embroidery session, all the patches with Urban Threads and Embroidery Library. Sign up today, reserve your spot, grab up a kit. And April 8th, you will be able to access all of that, and I can't wait to see what you think. All right, so today we're going to talk about these cute little quilty gift tags. And, we've been releasing some gift tag designs here and there throughout the year, really. It kind of started last year, actually, with our Christmas gift tags that we did in the hoop using some beautiful cork fabrics and some great threads and some wonderful designs. And then in February, we released our I Woof You collection. And we have 3 dog designs and 3 Bee Meow Valentine designs. And these ones actually come as in the hoop gift tags or as flat designs. And what I mean by that is they're just the design, not an in the hoop project. So you can get them either way, and that way you can use it as a gift tag and do the whole gift tag in the hoop, or you could put these designs on anything else you want. Okay, so that's what I mean when I say flat design. It's just the design without an in the hoop outline and stopping and no applique elements, that type of thing. So now for National Quilting Month, we have come up with our Talk Quilty to Me gift tag collection. And just like our Valentine pets, these are available as in the hoop gift tags. But if you purchase up that embroidery palette or the embroidery collection, you will also get all 4 flat designs. So if you want to create a quilt label using this little design, you don't have to do the whole in the hoop process. You can just stitch the design onto a nice fabric, sign and date it, make it a quilt label on the back of a quilt or something like this. These would also look really cute on a hat or maybe on a shirt pocket area. Very, very cute. And these are actually sewn using sulky felty, which I just talked about for our patch session. So these have a little bit softer quality to them. They do have a medium weight stabilizer in between. You can use sulky stiffy, which is a medium to heavy weight tearaway stabilizer, and that gives it some really great structure in between the layers. So this has a front to it, a back to it, and then an optional pocket that you can also add to slip in some cash or a gift card or a little note or something like that. So here are all of the gift tags. I'll show you in a moment. I first want to show you, you can grab this up as just the design collection. So you will get all 4 in the hoop gift tag designs, plus the 4 flat designs in 3 sizes. So you can get a small 4x4 design to use as a quilt label, a 5x7 design, all the way up to a 6x10 design. So lots of stitch out options with this collection. You can also grab this collection up as a palette, which means you get all of the beautiful threads that coordinate with the designs in addition to the designs. All right. Perfect. So here's just a little bit closer look. We've got It's a Good Day to Quilt with the cute little quilt block. Life is Better with a Quilt. One Block at a Time. And of course, Talk Quilty to Me. Okay, so in a little bit, I'm going to show you these done outside of machine embroidery because we also have these charted for cross stitch. All right, so I'll show you that momentarily. I'm going to kind of take you through the stitch out process for the gift tags. And I do want to note that these images are shown using our Christmas gift tags palette. So the design's going to look a little bit different, but the stitch out process is exactly the same. So the first thing you're going to do is hoop a piece of sulky stiffy stabilizer, and you're going to stitch color stop 1, which is the placement stitch for that fabric that you're going to use for your gift tag. You can use sulky felty like was shown in the previous images. You can use some great cork fabric. This one has a little bit of metallic running through it, which is fun. You can use a faux leather fabric if you want. So as long as it's a no fray fabric, because our edges are raw, right? We're just going to trim up the gift tag just beyond the outer stitching when we're all done. So we want to make sure this is a no fray fabric. Okay. So you'll also notice on the side of the gift tag are 2 little notches. That is the placement marker if you want to add a pocket to the back of your gift tag when we get to that spot. So that's what those 2 little notch stitching lines are for. Once you do your placement stitch, you will put your no fray fabric for the front of your gift tag over the placement stitches. Use a little bit of sulky KK2000, which is our temporary spray adhesive. Put that on the back of your fabric and then stick it in place on the stabilizer. Then you will do all the embellishment stitches for the design. All right. So if you are using a faux leather fabric, it's a little bit tricky to do a design that's super dense. Like, look at this cute little love you design. All of this is fill stitches. So when you stitch something like this on a faux leather in particular, there is not enough structure in that faux leather fabric. It's not a woven fabric with, microscopic holes in it, right? Where the needle can penetrate those holes and put thread inside of them. There's no room for that in a faux leather. So what happens is, after you stitch all this dense stitching, the fabric might spread a little bit beyond the motif, okay? It's completely fine in this case for the gift tag, as long as you wait to do that outline stitching until the very end. So you want to do all the heavier stitches first, and then go back and do that outline tacking stitch that's going to tack your fabric to the stabilizer. All right. Needle size and type when sewing on cork. Thank you so much, Judy. All right, so for this cork gift tag, Microtex needle, a size 80-12 is really best for sulky 40 weight poly deco or 40 weight rayon thread. Okay, Microtex needle on cork fabric or on faux leather really, I find, gives you the best results. Now for the felty, you can use an embroidery needle size 80-12 or a 75-11 on the felty. It's manufactured to accept a lot of thread and a lot of needle penetrations without those buckling and puckering problems. So it's a really, really great fabric to use for something like this. Okay, so after all of your decorative stitches are done, and then you've done that placement stitch outline as well, whether you're doing it before the motif or after, depending on your fabric. Now we need the backing fabric added. So we're going to remove the hoop from the machine carefully so as not to disturb the stabilizer, and we're going to flip it over. Now we're going to take our gift tag backing fabric, spray it with a little KK2000, and place it over those stitches on the back of the hoop. Additionally, we do need some sulky clear embroidery tape, at least on the top and bottom of the fabric piece. Because what tends to happen is, even with that spray adhesive on there, you go to put your hoop back on the machine and you slide it in place, right? To lock it in place. Sometimes what can happen is the upper edge of that fabric that you have on the back of the hoop will kind of roll back on itself as you slide the hoop onto the machine. And then you press start, you have no idea that's happened because sometimes it can be hard to see under there. And you stitch the whole rest of the design and there's no fabric attached or it has folded in some way. Now you've got to remove those stitches. Inevitably, you're going to disturb the stabilizer in the hoop and you might have to do the entire thing over. So very, very simple. Just some sulky clear embroidery tape. This is my favorite to use. First off, it's clear, so you can see what's happening underneath it. Secondly, it's strong, but you can still reposition it. In fact, you can reuse this up to 3 times, maybe even 4. If you're using felty, some of the fibers of the felt will look like they're coming off onto the tape, very, very minuscule amounts. It doesn't really harm the felty itself. I don't think so, at least. You can just kind of brush it and it looks great. But that might prevent you from using this 3 times because it will have some of those just little fibers in the tape. All right. The other thing I love about this tape in particular is if you accidentally stitch over it, maybe you place your tape on the top edge and then you go to stitch your final outline stitching and it stitches right over the tape. Well, it tears completely cleanly along those stitching lines. In fact, it's so easy to tear that you can just, as I get it all over my fingertip, it's so easy to tear. You can create like smaller sections of this. Like look how cleanly it tears along that edge. So you can make 2 pieces of tape out of 1 and maybe just put these on the corner of your gift tag. So you get a lot of uses out of this stuff. Whereas if you use something like painter's tape or masking tape, it's a pretty much one and done thing. And then you've got to throw that away. Sometimes it leaves residue on your fabric. If you stitch over, it's really hard to pick that out, and your stitches can pop out even. So love me some clear embroidery tape. All right, you're going to tape just in a couple of places, making sure this fabric does not roll on the back of the hoop. And then we're going to slide that hoop back onto the machine. Oh, this is showing that pocket placement. If you do want to add a pocket, you just need a rectangle of fabric that's a little bit shorter than the one that you put on for the backing of the gift tag. You're going to align the top edge of the pocket with those two little pocket notch placement lines, and then tape that down as well. The pocket is optional. You can totally omit it. I did not use it for this gift tag, but if you do put a pocket, it allows you to add something in there, a little note or a gift card or something. So that's a nice touch. Now you're going to do the very last step, which is the outline stitch around the gift tag that's going to sandwich everything together. And it's also going to stitch this little hole up here for the hanging loop. All right. So now your stitch out is complete. You can remove the hoop from the machine, remove those layers of tape and save them for another gift tag or another use. And now we're going to tear that stabilizer away right up to that stitching line. So you do want to tear this away before you go trimming anything, because you get a nice clean tear along the stitching line and you'll never see that stabilizer. If you wait until after you cut it, it's virtually impossible to pick that stabilizer out between whatever seam allowance you gave yourself for that edge. So be sure to remove that before you do any trimming. And here's what that looks like. And then you will just trim up your gift tag as close as you want to the stitching line, about 1/8 of an inch, something like that. You can see how close I got to this stitching line here, just with some sharp scissors, and follow the contours of the tag stitching. Then you need to poke a hole, or you can also use, actually this was a mystery box product also. I hope I can find it. I like to have it near me, like most things. It's never here when I want to show it to you, but it's a small little Olfa craft knife. And it's basically a tiny little X-Acto knife, but it's like this big, and you just pop out the knife and you can use it on your cutting mat, and it slices through cork and felty and faux leathers like butter. But you can also certainly use a sharp pair of scissors and just notch out a little slit in that opening. Or if you have an awl, you can just do a little hole punch like I've done here. And then you can use some elastic cording and poke that through, tie a little knot in it, and your gift tag is completed. So here's all of our cute little gift tags with all those beautiful matching threads that go with the designs. So I love this collection, and you know, you can find this little elastic cording. It comes in different widths. This is just white. You can also find gold and silver and rose gold, all kinds of different colors of it too to match your gift cards. So yes, I did mention that I also wanted to show you these done in a couple different ways. For those of you who mentioned that you don't have an embroidery machine. Oh, Noreen is saying, could you or do you use pinking shears to trim around the stitching? You absolutely could use pinking shears, and you'd have a cute little pinked decorative edge around your little gift tag. Completely up to you. Or if you have like a wavy blade scissor, that might look really cool. So absolutely have fun with it. Okay, let's see. So I mentioned that we have also charted these designs for cross stitch. And these designs are specifically charted for use with our gift tag wooden blanks that we specifically made for these particular designs. And you can stitch these on those gift tag blanks, or you can grab up the chart and stitch this on Aida cloth, or you can print out the design from the chart onto a sheet of Sulky Stick and Stitch Stabilizer, which is our printable fabric-like water-soluble stabilizer sheets. You can print out the cross-stitch design, put it on the fabric of your choice, and then do what we call stamped cross-stitch, which means you don't have to count anything. You just follow the printed design on that stick and stitch stabilizer and then wash it away when you're all done with the cross stitch. So many different ways of looking at these charts. You can grab up the charts with or without the threads that coordinate with them, and you can create them on a gift tag blank, or like I said, Aida cloth or stamped cross stitch style. All right, so here's a little bit closer up look of that Talk Quilty to Me design. I just love the textural quality you get from cross stitch. It's just so neat. These also would work really great as luggage identifiers. I have people tell me in the past that they did use them on their checked bag, and I wouldn't recommend that just because, you know, after all that work of all the cross stitching that you've done, I would hate for the tag to get damaged with those nice baggage handlers that we have out there in the universe. Thank you for your service. So if you are going to use it as a luggage identifier, I would put it on your carry-on bag or something like this instead of a checked bag. But still a great idea, especially if you're going to a quilt retreat or a sewing show or something like that. Everybody's going to ask you where you got it, and you can happily tell them that you made it yourself. You can also grab up just the Talk Quilty to Me design as a full kit at sulky.com. It comes with these 6 colors that you see here, the printed chart, as well as that gift tag blank, so you can have fun with it and get started stitching as soon as your kit arrives. These are limited quantities as well. I believe last I checked, we only had about 10 of them in stock. So get yours while you can. I love a kit. Susie Q says, these would make great luggage tags, Christmas ornaments, ID tags for young children, info in the pocket for safety. What a great idea. I absolutely love it. Thank you. Sharon says, these are cute also. Perfect. Love it. Betsy says, lovely thread colors. Thank you. And if you are in the Talk Quilty to Me spirit, hopefully I've done that for you today. You can also grab up one of our special edition Talk Quilty to Me t-shirts. These are also in very, very limited quantities. So once they're gone, they're gone. These are available in multiple sizes from small to I think 4XL, I want to say. But again, they are in limited stock. But you can sport your Talk Quilty to Me look in a t-shirt and, you know, be sewing up your Talk Quilty to Me luggage tags and just have a whole theme going on in and of itself. All right, perfect. Well, I hope you got some quilty / embroidery / cross stitch inspiration from me today. And I hope I've inspired you to run to your sewing rooms and be creative and sew something up. Also, don't forget to grab up a Garden Party Spring Mystery Box. While supplies last, you will get over $76 worth of full-size products for only $49.99. And I forgot to mention at the top of today's show that 5 boxes will contain a $50 golden ticket, which is redeemable for $50 of whatever you like from sulky.com. So that's like getting your mystery box for free, right? So if you've gotten a golden ticket in the past, I want to hear from you. Post in the chat because I love it when people win things, and I never get to be on the receiving I never get to really hear about that. And, you know, telling somebody that they're a winner is just one of the best things ever. So speaking of that, we also have a giveaway for today's show. If you are watching and if you are commenting, if you're giving me those great little emojis, somehow engaging with the post today, that's all you need to do. And I will pick a random person who's doing all of those things to win our Talk Quilty to Me Machine Embroidery Collection. So you will be able to create these lovely gift tags or the flat designs, whichever one floats your boat. You will have all access to that machine embroidery collection. So one lucky winner will be chosen in the next couple of days. And I will reach out to you personally to let you know that you have won. So be wary of all of those spam bots out there. And don't worry, I will give you an identifier so you'll really know that it's me. All right. So good luck to everyone out there with your golden tickets, and good luck with your Talk Quilty to Me. And I will see you next